Welcome to our unique YouTube channel. We are the Ministry of the Real Truth. Today we were sitting back, pondering, and we thought, okay, why don't we try to go back to the original Jewish manuscripts or texts, scriptures, and see what they really say. Not an easy task. You've only got certain material available. We're not Jewish. We don't speak Hebrew or anything like that. So yeah, that could also be a factor against us. But we came across this website with this report that reads errors in the Masorete original Hebrew manuscripts of the Bible. Or are there errors in the Masorete original Hebrew manuscripts of the Bible? Why critical editions of the Bible like Babylonia Hebraica Quinta are essential. The Hebrew Bible or Old Testament that we have today differs from the Hebrew manuscripts of the Bible penned in the first millennium BCE, before the Christian era. When transmitting any sort of a document from generation to generation, small alterations, some intentional, others not, are made. Even the most careful scribe makes errors, which are perpetuated and often compounded by future scribes. Thus it should not surprise us that the Hebrew Bible, which has a transmission history of several millennia, contains textual difficulties, corruptions, and even mistakes. Critical editions of the Bible examine these differences by looking at varying Hebrew witnesses and try to accurately reconstruct the original Hebrew manuscripts of the Bible. In the November-December 2013 issue of Biblical Archaeology Review, David Marcus and James A. Sanders discuss why critical editions of the Bible are necessary and describe the work that goes into creating such an edition in the article What's Critical About a Critical Edition of the Bible. Marcus and Sanders are both involved with the publication of Babylonia Hebraica Quinta, the latest revision of Babylonia Hebraica, which refers to the series of critical Bible editions published in Germany since 1905. The base for Babylonia Hebraica Quinta is the Leningrad Codex, which dates to 1008. For Babylonia Hebraica Quinta is the Leningrad Codex, like we just read that, which dates to 1008 CE and was written by Samuel, son of Jacob, who was part of a group of rabbinic scribes called the Masoretes. The free ebook, The Holy Bible, a Buyer's Guide, guides you through 33 different Bible versions and addresses their contents, text style, and religious orientation. Updated for 2013 with brand new reviews on 6 new Bible versions by Leonard J. Greenspoon. Working in Tiberias during the Middle Ages, the Masoretes recognized the possibility of human error when copying the Hebrew Bible. They tried to combat it by adding supplements to their text. In the margin of the Masoretes manuscripts, there are innumerable notes, Masorā, to safeguard the text. The precision with which the Masoretes were able to preserve the Hebrew text beginning in the 7th century CE is astounding. Nevertheless, the Masoretes were not working with the original Hebrew manuscripts of the Bible. Corruption had already crept into the versions they copied. The Masoretes' effort preserved the biblical text in the first millennium CE. Modern scholarship, like with critical editions of the Bible like Babylonia Hebraica Quinta, is bringing us even closer to reconstructing the original Hebrew manuscripts of the Bible. Again, there's an article by David Marcus and James A. Sanders as it appears in the November-December 2013 issue of Biblical Archaeology Review. It's called What's Critical About a Critical Edition of the Bible. The Masoretes doing what the Masoretes do best. This page comes from the Aleppo Codex. Until a third of it was burned in a 1947 anti-Jewish uprising in Syria. The Aleppo Codex was considered to be the oldest, most complete and most accurate of the Masoretes manuscripts. The Masoretes filled its margins with notes to safeguard against corruption. And it's credit to these people for bringing it, or reviewing it. Okay. A masterpiece of the Masoretes. The Masoretes established an astounding, accurate tradition of Bible transmission. This carpet page from the Leningrad Codex, 1008 CE, Christian era, of the tradition of the Masoretes in the base text is the base text for Babylonia Hebraica Quinta. The scribe of the manuscript, Samuel, son of Jacob, one of the Masoretes, even records his name. Okay, so this Masorete text, supposedly Italian Mauro Bullino, is supposed to have been commissioned by the Vatican to translate that, and he did, and he found that underneath the common stories was writings or claims of aliens and so forth coming to the planet and creating human beings and all this sort of stuff. He's quite shocked, and then the Vatican turned on him when he revealed that, cancelled his book publication contract, etc. But he continued on, he soldiered on. So we're going to have a look at this Biblia Hebraica Quinta. We found it online, or Quinta online. Prepared by Abraham Tal. Looks like it says here German Bible, not too sure what this is. German isn't that great anymore. Introduction and commentaries on Genesis. Let's start with that at the very beginning. From the very beginning. Contents of the commentary section. Introduction. Notes on the Masorā Parva. Notes on the Masorā Magna. Commentary on the critical apparatus and works cited. Introduction. Hebrew witnesses. The Hebrew text and the Masorā of Genesis printed in this Biblia Hebraica Quinta edition are based on photographs and colour transparencies of folios. Is it supposed to be 1V? Is it supposed to be 4 to 31? V of the renowned EPB IB 19A of the Russian National Library in St. Petersburg, Russia. The high quality of these photographs and transparencies made by Bruce and Kenneth Zuckerman permitted the editor to establish the reading of a number of doubtful cases, mainly concerned with accents and vowels. It was thus possible to distinguish between real vowels or punctuations, marks and mere dots caused by bacteria or other factors. The more significant of these are included in the critical apparatus or are referred to in the comments. One such case is the alleged Dagei, D-A-G-E-I, what looks of it, in Hebrew 34, whatever that is, 28 BHS but not BHK, which is in reality a light reddish dot, like many others on the same page, whereas a say D-A-G-E-3 or D-A-G-E, not really sure what that is dark brown. This in similar cases are recorded in the lemma notes. The photographs also improved the legibility of some Masoretic notes which could not be clarified previously. Okay, it's got all this information. Might be a little hard for the novice like us to get our head around what it's trying to get at. Is that the book of Genesis in M something consists of 45 Siddharim at the following locations and so forth. Okay, this could be a bit of a difficult book to get our head around. Okay, Samaritan Pentateuch. The evidence from the Samaritan Pentateuch is taken from Manuscript 6, C of the Shechem Synagogue, etc., etc. As a product of a community which defines itself as Gerizim-centered as opposed to Jerusalem-centered Judaism and so forth. Greek witnesses. The main text used for the Greek evidence is taken from the Göttingen edition, with its Genesis. Occasionally reference is made to Ralph's Septuaginta, and so forth. Latin witnesses. The text of the Vulgate is based on the edition of San Girolamo, etc., etc. Syriac witnesses. The Peshitta text of Genesis was consulted in the Leiden Peshitta edition. Gensma Genesis, as a rule, as follows: M closely leading to McCarthy's conclusion, etc., etc. And then you have the Targumic witnesses. There's the acknowledgements there, and there's appendix. Yeah, you have to take your time and read that and try to fully understand it. It looks quite complicated. Notes on the Masorete. Saying here the circulus is wrongly placed between these words. Its correct place is between and following. This combination occurs 15 times, but it is only here that has a. Okay, we see it. You see RS area and exit no. Whatever that word is, yeah, it's kind of difficult. Those in the know would be able to explain it to us. It's kind of technical, difficult. We don't be here all day. Trying to make head or tail of it. Okay, we're trying to get to the scriptures to see what it actually says. Okay, it's notes on the Masorete. Okay. It'd probably be better for a person who actually can read Hebrew, understand Hebrew, speak Hebrew, and read it. Okay, we're trying to get to the page where we can actually read it, like the scriptures in English or something. Maybe it's the wrong book. Okay, I'm trying to skip ahead here. Okay, I'm going to go back a bit. It's a bit more English. Okay, here it is in Hebrew by the looks of it. Masoretic Text. Try to go back a bit. Okay. Yeah, you really have to know what you're looking at. We're just giving an example of what it looks like. We have no clue. This will be for somebody that knows how to read Hebrew, speak Hebrew, and read Hebrew. Someone in the know could possibly help us out and explain it. We're just giving you a view of it.